Good morning. So today we are going to talk about something really exciting. We are going to talk about nonfiction text features. And before we get started, let's talk about what is the difference between fiction and nonfiction text. Raise your hand. Mari, thank you for raising your hand so nice and quiet.
Nonfiction is not fake, but fiction is fake.
Okay, so Mari said that nonfiction is not fake and fiction is fake. Does anybody have anything else to add? Because that's correct. That is correct. Miles.
Well, you can tell because if you see like a flying like person, that's like fiction. And if you see like, even though those cartoon pictures, like, even though the Five Senses book, even though they're like cartoony pictures, they're non-fiction.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So he's saying like if there's a flying person in a book, that's make-believe. That's what we would call fiction. It's a story. And nonfiction, he said even though it could be a cartoon picture, if a book, like the book he's talking about, is about the five senses. Well, the five senses are real. That's not make-believe, is it? Mm-hmm. No, the sight, hearing, we know those are real things. What do we call that? I'm glad you pointed that out, because a book about the five senses, what is that giving us? What is that telling us, Deshaun?
Information.
It's giving us information, yes. Nonfiction texts give us information. And fiction texts, what do they give us? What do they give us, Desiree?
They give us non-fiction and fiction.
Okay. Kind of, I'm just wanting to know what fiction gives us. What does fiction give us? Because we know nonfiction, that's what we're going to be talking about today, information. But the difference is fiction gives us what, Jasmine? Okay, we'll talk about that later. Fiction tells us a what? Fiction stories tell us what? Brian?
Real stuff?
No, not real. Genesis?
Fake stuff.
Fake, like make-believe. They tell us stories, okay? Like the Three Little Bears. That is telling us a story. Aiden, sit up, please. All right, so now that we know nonfiction books, we remember that. Remember that nonfiction books give us information. Could you tell me, how do they give us information? What do nonfiction authors do to give us information? Or what are those books about? Give us more examples, like the Five Senses books.
Oh.
Peyton?
There's a Five Senses books over there.
Yes, there is. Does anybody else think of another book they've read that gives us information and how it did that? Layla? We'll come back to you. Dakari?
Like animals.
Animals, yeah, like an animal book. Okay,
like
what
we're doing right now, the animal stuff.
Yes, like we're doing right now with our animal books. We're giving information. And how are we doing that? What are ways that we are giving information to our readers? Ramon?
We write about it.
Okay, we write about it. Is there any special way we're writing about it?
Yeah.
Tamari?
Aiden had a book that was non-fiction and fiction.
Okay.
It was like cartoon. The people was cartoon, and like outside it was fiction.
Okay. Well, that's good. Well, let's go ahead and move on. So today we're going to talk about nonfiction text features. Things that we see in nonfiction books that we don't see in fiction books, that we don't see in those make-believe stories. And I have found a little slideshow for us to use. And I'm going to ask for some of you to help me do this slideshow. So, nonfiction, we've decided, are text features that authors use to give us information. Like when we see a picture and we see writing underneath. Does anybody know what that's called? That we've used in small reading groups? When pictures have little writing underneath them. Ramon?
Redraw, right?
Redraw, right? Yeah, that's for math, but good pointing that out. Okay, that's the kind of things we're going to talk about. Or when you see definitions in a book, or you see labels. Where do we see labels at? In your animal books, what are we doing on one of those pages? What do we draw? Nalina?
Animals that were on the list.
Yep, we're drawing our animals and we're going to label them. Very good. So, books that are nonfiction, what are some of those things that they have? So let me have Jasmine, would you stand up, please? And I want you to just remove, you're going to pick up one of these and just move it away. Put your finger on one and just move it away. Move it over. Oh, kind of like that. Got to hold it down. There you go. What's it say? Can you read that for me? Glossary. Anybody know what a glossary is? What's a glossary? Morgan. Thank you.
It's like, you know, back in the book, if you don't know what something means, you can go to the glossary and it can tell you, like, what page it is and what it means.
Yeah, where did we see that? We saw that in our prairie book, didn't we? Very good. Okay, let's get somebody else to find out another thing that nonfiction books have. Dakari, will you come up here and swipe one away? Just pick one to swipe away. Here, walk around. Walk around. Make sure you're sitting down so they can come around you. Come on up. Just swipe one away. There you go. What's it say?
Non-fiction
Text features. Yeah, that's all of those that we are talking about. Very good. Thank you, Dakari. All right, let's have somebody else. So, Anna, come swipe one away. You may need this if you want to do one up top. What else do they have? This is so exciting. Just swipe one away. Come on, quickly.
A big all about her.
Yeah, what's the title of our books? What's the title of our books that we're making? What does it say?
I know.
Do you know? All about, and then you put what? What do you write in?
A cheetah.
Your animal, yes, cheetah or shark, whichever one you're doing. Very good. Lewis. Oh, remember, I'm only calling on students that are sitting quietly on their bottoms. I will skip you. I love the way Keon is sitting. He's looking right up at me. I hope I pick his name. Just swipe one away. How-to page. Has anybody ever read a book that explains how to do something?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I know one. I know one. Maybe somebody will guess. And Ramon, in your reading group, what did we learn how to do?
Paper.
What was the book called?
How to make paper.
Yeah, how to make paper, how to make it at home. And that was a nonfiction book. Very good. All right. Keon, oh, I did get your name. Come up here and swipe one away for me.
A table of contents.
Table of contents. What is that?
I want to be next.
What is that? Oh my goodness, I love that I have so many people that want to share, but I'd really like to see more people raise their hands. Cameron, what's a table of contents?
It means.
What does it do for us? And don't worry, we're going to talk about all of these. Where do we see a table of contents in a book? Oh, let's help him out. Who can help him out? Helena.
A table of contents is on the first page.
Yeah, it's one of the first pages, and it tells us what, Deshaun?
It tells us like if it's like it tells us what page to go to if we want to listen to it.
Yeah, it tells us where to go to find the information we're looking for. Kamari, come to our last swipe. And don't worry, we're going to have plenty more stuff to do. Make sure you're quiet on your bottom. Not right now. In a second, okay? Swipe it away, please. What's it say? Chapters. And what is table of contents tells us what page they're on. What does chapters, what does that mean? Chapters
Table
and
of contents and chapters are the same thing.
They are because why?
Because they both tell you what page you want to get on.
Yeah, they tell you where the chapters are. So if I was wanting to read about what pigs eat, I might go to what kind of chapter in the book? Raise your hand. Madison. The table of contents to find out where I would find that information. All right, so the first one we're going to talk about is a diagram. A diagram. Now, we are making one of these for our books. And what's special about a diagram? Mubarak, what's special about a diagram? what do I have on here? What's it telling me? What kind of information is this diagram giving me? Huh? What's it telling me? We'll come back to you.
House.
Genesis, what's it telling me? What kind of information am I getting from here?
It has fur. It got fur.
It has fur. How do I know that, Genesis?
Because it's telling me.
With a
Form.
Label.
label. The diagram is the picture. The label is what it's telling me. So what else is it telling me? What information are you getting from this?
It's like it's.
Aiden, what else do you see? What else are you learning from this picture?
No. White and black. No.
Yep. Nose, good, Mubarak. Okay, yeah. It's telling us what these are called. Like, remember when I did my well picture and I had my blowhole? If somebody didn't know that a well had a blowhole, with my label, they would know that, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
All right, make sure you're sitting on your bottom. Put your hands down. We're going to move on. Now, back to table of contents. This is a table of contents of a book about what? What's this about? What do you think? Daniela? Okay, we'll skip you. Deshaun?
A table of contents is like it's
No, what do you think this is about from looking at it?
This is about telling you what page.
Kids. Not kids.
Telling you what page.
All right, we'll come back. Lydia?
It's a glossary.
No, what is this table of contents about?
Trees.
Trees, yes. Look at the first chapter. Kinds of trees. So let's read them. Kinds of trees, page 3. Tree parts, page 5. What leaves do, page 8. Leaves in winter, page 10. Leaves in spring, page 12. Leaves in summer, page 13. Leaves in fall, page 15. So, Madison, if I was wanting to read about trees in winter, tree leaves in winter, what page would I go to?
10.
Is she right?
No. Yes.
What's page 10? Leaves in winter. Okay, and if I wanted to know about parts of trees, what page would I go to? Miles? Tree parts. I want to learn about tree parts. What page am I going to go to?
Page 5.
Very good. Jackson, I'm going to need you to sit up or go back to your seat. All right. So, that is how we use a table of contents. It helps us explore our book. So now, let's see about this. Photographs.
Oh, I know.
We're going to be putting some photographs in our animal books. And let's see what they say. It says nonfiction books often have photographs instead of illustrations. Do a turn and talk with an elbow buddy to discuss the difference between these words. So real quick, I want you to turn to someone and quietly talk about what's the difference between a photo and an illustration. Yes, go turn and talk. You have 30 seconds to turn and talk here. You two both. You're lying on the carpet. All right, 10 seconds, and I need you turned around. All right, everybody turn back this way. Turn back this way on 0. No, sit. Turn back this way. You're done talking with your partner. Raise your hand if you would like to share what you and your partner said about the difference between pictures and illustrations. Alexis.
I said to Lydia, the difference is because a picture, you can't say anything about it. You can't
Okay.
write.
Okay.
In an illustration, you can write about it.
Okay. So maybe like, okay, I get what you're saying. Like a picture is just something you take, whereas an illustration is something that's
Where
drawn.
you can show
Okay, what else might be the difference? What else might be the difference? Desiree?
Like some of them, like they're in a book and they're not nonfiction. Some is real and some isn't.
Okay. So when we were talking earlier, Miles said that his book, All About Senses, has pictures that look like colored pictures, illustrations, but it's still nonfiction. Whereas this is what we most typically see in a nonfiction book, real pictures. So let me have somebody to come swipe away these boxes. Lydia, will you come swipe away this box about photographs? Okay, thank you. It says photographs are pictures that have been taken with a camera. And right here under the picture, it says really small, in small print. And does anybody know what that's called? When there's small print under a picture? I asked this earlier. Does anybody remember? Morgan?
It says daily.
No, don't read it. What's it called?
It's called a I forgot.
It's called a caption. All right? So it says Daisy and Lily are enjoying their spinach. A caption is a little sentence under a picture that's explaining what the picture is. So a photograph is something that's taken with a camera.
I know it.
Desiree, come up and swipe away this box about illustrations. Let's learn about illustrations. Thank you. Illustrations are pictures that are made by hand. They can be drawn, painted, or crafted. Illustrations can also be drawn or created on a computer. So the only difference is this is something real that somebody took a picture of with a camera. I can do the same thing. It's the same thing, but somebody just drew it by hand. Like your all's books. Are we going to take pictures of zebras and sharks and cheetahs?
No.
No, we're creating what?
Pictures.
What are we creating?
Illustration.
Ramon.
Okay.
Huh? Brian.
Illustration.
Illustrations. Yes, you'll be making a nonfiction illustration. Very good. Bold print. Oh, this is one that we don't see a lot of, but we're starting to see more of. Bold print. So it says for me to click on Daisy to see what bold print is. We're going to see, and then we're going to see an example of a glossary. It's going to show us an example. So here is example of bold print. And it's kind of hard to see on here. It says, guinea pigs can also be a fascinating animal to observe and listen to as they make a wonderful array of guinea pig sounds, including weaking, purring, rumbling, squealing, and chattering, all of which can reveal their different emotions. What is in bold print that I just read? Madison?
Guinea pig sound.
Why do you think they put that in bold print? Why did the author choose to put that in bold print? Deshaun?
Because it's important.
Because it's important. Morgan, do you want to add something to that?
Yes. Well, they want you to do it so you know like what it means.
Mm-hmm.
And some other words is not.
Oh yes, nocturnals in bold print. Interact. Very good. Now let's flip over to this glossary, an example of a glossary that you would find in the back of the book. And this is where you're going to find those bold print words. And there's going to be a definition next to it. So if we look at litter, it says litter. So that was a bold print word in the book. It says the name for the young, it's the young, a litter. So think about like cats, a cat litter. You would know, oh, that's when there's a bunch of little cat kittens. It's called a litter. Now you know, so you go back to where you were reading and you read the sentence again, but now you know the word. because that's what a glossary is. It defines those bold words.
Some books don't have them.
So now let's take a little quiz. Ready to take a little quiz? We've got words down here. We can't really see them. This is not very clear because our light's off.
But you still can't see the non-fiction.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So we've got illustrations, bold print, setting, labels, characters, photograph, make-believe, and diagrams. So when I call your name, you're going to come up here, and I'm going to give you a word, and you're going to move it like this, and you're going to stick it either in nonfiction or fiction. And if it's correct, it's going to go to the right one. So let's see. Nalina, come up here. You're going to be our first person to play the game. You're going to start with illustrations. Is that nonfiction or fiction? Here, move your phone. Here. So move that to nonfiction or fiction.
Non-fiction.
Let her do it. Melina, go on. Illustrations. Move it to nonfiction or fiction. Do it all the way to the middle. Oh, it was right. You took it in there.
It went down.
It's supposed to go in there. It's supposed to go away.
You got a dragon.
It went down.
You got a dragon. Oh,
Okay.
maybe.
Next, bold print. Let me have Cameron. Bold print. Right here. This word. Where's it going to go? Fiction or nonfiction?
Nothing.
Bold print.
Fiction.
Non-fiction.
Non-fiction. Non-fiction.
And then take it. Illustrations came.
I know, it came back. Move it on over.
Stop trying to
No, we just. Okay, good job. So it goes bold print. He said goes to nonfiction. All right, we'll just line them up over here because it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing.
You were supposed to tap
Yeah,
it.
you're supposed to
It was
tap
going
it.
down. When you tapped it first,
Yeah.
I didn't win. That's why I missed
If you're calling out at me, you're not going to get a chance to go. So I need you to check that you're crisscross applesauce so people can come up here without tripping and sit down quietly. Ramon, come do another word. Let's do, so we already did illustrations. Let's do characters. Where would characters go? Right here. That word. Fiction or nonfiction? Very good. Goes to fiction. Good job. Just leave it there. Just leave it there. Just
Go
leave it there.
away.
I know, it's just being really slow. Sometimes computers are really slow.
Look at the other one. Look at this. That's my sign. That's big.
It's really exciting. Maybe you'll get a turn if you're sitting quietly. So these people aren't sitting quietly. Genesis, why don't you come do photograph? Where would photograph go? Nonfiction or fiction? Right here. Nonfiction or fiction?
No, do it.
What do you tell me? What do you think?
Fiction.
No.
Fiction.
I'll try that one.
No.
Nonfiction. Remember, a photograph is a picture you take with a camera. Just stick it in here. Oh, there, it's gonna go away. Good job. This is a review game. All right, we'll do two more. Deshaun, come put labels in the correct category. Nonfiction or fiction? Marks, get over so people can come up here. Real quick. Labels right there. Very good. Labels go in nonfiction. All right, and we'll do one more. Diagrams. Where do we see diagrams, Brian? Where do I see diagrams? Scoot back. Right here. Nonfiction or fiction? Very good. That's exactly where it needs to go. All right. Roll the dice and define the nonfiction text feature. Layla, will you come roll the dice for us? Make sure you're scoot back so she can come up here behind the tape. Caption. What's a caption, Layla? That tells us what about the photograph? Yeah, it tells us what the picture is about. Alexis, come roll the dice again. Make sure she can get through. Photograph. What's a photograph?
Something that you take with the camera.
Very good. One more and then we're going to do a fun activity. Peyton, roll the dice. Label. What's a label? Peyton. Okay, we'll get somebody to help you. Raise your hand if you can help Peyton out. What's a label, Lydia?
It's something that you write that you
Yeah, you label something like a part of an animal. Very good. All right, we'll come back to that. So, here's what you are going to do. I need, first of all, let me have a volunteer. Oh my goodness. I love how some of you all are sitting so nice and quiet. You want to know what the activity is going to be. And you're sitting and giving me your full respect. Daniela and Aiden, come here real quick. Go put one of these books on everybody's desk. Just put a book on each person's desk. All right, what you are going to do, you are going to take a scavenger hunt with a book. Aiden, would you flip on both legs, please? You are going to, well, you're not going to go around the room. No, both of them on. You are going to get a paper like this. So, it's called Scavenger Hunt, Features of Nonfiction Text. And then you're going to have a nonfiction text at your book. So mine is called Air and Weather. So I'm going to write under title what? What am I going to write under title?
Air and weather.
Very good. And now, I've got different text features. I've got table of contents, bold print, photographs, maps, captions, labels, glossary. And I'm going to read my book. I'm going to look through it and find out what I have. So look, what's right here?
A table of contents.
A table of contents.
A table of contents. So I'm going to find where this is and I'm going to give it a check. Next, let me see what else I have. What is this?
A label.
A label.
Is that a label? You sure?
No.
What else could it be? Because what's it? It's kind of hard to see.
A picture.
Here, this might even be better if I just show you. It's a picture, which is a
boy.
A caption.
Morgan. Thank you for raising your hand.
A caption.
A caption, because there's my real picture, and then it says, or if the air is cold enough, it snows instead. There's my caption. So I'm going to go over here, mark with the caption. So I'm going to look to see if my book has all these. And guess what? Some of yours won't have them all, and that's okay. It's okay. Just check what yours does, okay? I'm going to let you work with the partner that's right next to you. Oh, what's this?
A glass.
Raise your hand.
I know.
Keon, what's this?
Glossum.
I've got all these definitions. What page is that on? We'll come back to you. Brian,
Glossary.
a glossary. So I'm going to go over here and check. So I'm going to let's see, I'm gonna pick those of you that are sitting quietly to go. Thank you, Daniela. She's got her name on her paper. It's under her chin. Who else will follow directions? If you don't have a book, you'll just raise your hand until one comes to you. Tamari, Layla getting a point. Who else is getting a point? Brian, Morgan. If you call out, I won't give you a point, even if you're following directions. Lewis, Miles. Thank you. You're calling out. You got to be patient. Takaya gets a point. Zana, Nalina. Following directions. Their name is on their paper. Their teacher knows it. Takari, Genesis, Ramon, Madison, Mubarak. Very good. All right, now. If you would like to, you may work with somebody to the left or to the right of you, but you are not to get out of your seat to complete the scavenger hunt. Sit down. Sit down. If you do not have a book, raise your hand. Sit down. I didn't take it up. If you get done early, you may practice drawing labels on the back of your paper. You don't need a crayon. You don't need a crayon.
But my crayon is in the
Okay, I'll get it later. We'll get it in a little bit.
What did you say?
I said if you can work with a partner, you can work with somebody who left or right. Well, here, use this one. Will you tell me, is it nonfiction? Now let's look at this one. This isn't. Is this fiction or nonfiction? What's it called?
That's non-fiction.
What's it got? You tell me. What is it? What do you think? Raise your hand. I can't hear you if your hand's not raised. Remember, your book may not have everything. Brian? Why don't you work with me? Right here. Well, then tell me what it does have on that. I don't think that's really true. Let me come over there. I think this is look, where's the frill at? Where would I find it? Maybe what?
No. This one, this one, that's the second one, this one.
Let's see how purpose that. He doesn't have to. I want to show you. Do you have it on? We'll get you one. Yes, Layla?
Hey, I see you. Why did you give me this picture?
Because I want you to look. Okay, let's open your book. What's this called? When you've got all the words, go to the very bottom, page 2. What's that called? Page 2. Why do authors use that? What is that called? No, right here. What's this called? A table of. Okay. Right, and do we have a table of contents on our scavenger hunt? Yes, we do. So you're looking for these examples in this book, and you just check them. Check right here, check table of contents. All right, now you're going to look for something else. Like, let's see.
What is this one? I don't have a table.
Yeah, you can just look at the pictures. I see, what are these called?
Girl, Matt.
No, what are these? No, what are they? It doesn't matter what it is in there. What do we call that when somebody takes a picture? Photograph. Okay, so this is photographs. So you have photographs in your book. We check that.
I got one.
Oh, you sure do. Oh, look, it's even got a camera on there. And then, right, so that's what you're looking for. Oh, look, you've got what? Books down and look this way. So remember when I pulled you all at the beginning of our unit, and I said that you all were going to be doing extra special things to your books? You're going to have extra special pages. Well, I've made you all a different rubric. So up here, we have the rubric we've gone over as a class that everyone was doing, where they have an opening, they've got 3 facts, you've got a conclusion for your writing, and down here you've got something special. It says labels and bold words. And labels, what are labels? Miles?
It's like
Look at Miles.
it's like when I'm on this page, like I draw body, tail, and head.
So if you turn to your diagram page, which, Deshaun, you don't have one, but
The mouth and the eyes.
on your rubric, if you want to get full credit, if you have 3 or more labels on your diagram, that's what you'll get to get that full score. But today we're going to talk about bold words. And if you go to the very back page where it says glossary in your book, go to the glossary. You are going to create your own glossary for your book. And what is a glossary? Who can tell me what a glossary is?
Oh my gosh, that's all our writing pieces. I know.
Sean, what's a glossary?
A glossary is if I'm learning about the Gorillas game, my glossary will be like,
Okay, a glossary. Miles, you want to add on to what he said?
Like if I,
Hold on.
I would like my glossary, like would be like another glossary. Like my glossary would be like little bells, and like tails.
Yeah, you would pick certain words. Alexis, what were you going to say?
Well, I was gonna say just like go back into your affirmative writing pages, like think of what you would have called and then go back to your glossary and write down and then put the number page.
Yeah, like if I were to look at, let's look at
Like
this.
I would say, there are different kinds. So I'll mark it out to one.
So if I were to look at, say, Layla's writing, okay, she's talking about howler monkey. And if she were to choose some bold words, she could pick, like where she wrote, howler monkeys are mammals. She could make mammals extra bold with her pencil. And then in the back, she's going to put mammals right here in her glossary. So she'll put mammals, and then she'll tell me what mammals are. Does anybody know what mammals are? You know what mammals are? Lila, go ahead, it's your writing. Animals that have warm blood. So she'll put mammals and animals that have warm blood. Hold on just a second. Miss Ryan. Way to interrupt. Okay. So So she's gonna make sure that word is bold. She's gonna use bold print because as an author, she wants to tell her readers that that's important information. And then in the back, if they're like reading it and they're like, wait, what does mammals mean? And why did the author make that bold print? Let me look in the glossary to see why the author thought that was important. And then it'll say mammals, warm-blooded animals. And the reader will go, oh, a monkey is a warm-blooded animal. That's what a mammal means. Miles?
Well, I saw a book like that has a pool bell, and it didn't say pool bells. It said pool mammals because they live in the Arctic and they're warm-blooded to make sure they don't get cold because they're in the Arctic.
Yeah, an Arctic, that might be a really good bold word. So I am challenging you all to pick 3 words in your writing to define in the glossary. And you may need to change a couple things in your writing to make those words. Do you all think you can do that?
White with a crown.
So I want you to look through right now and see if you can find a word that you can bold, and we'll kind of talk about that together in your writing. So we need to get your writing. Sean, I've got it right here, sir.
And somehow this fell out.
It's okay, just keep it together, and we'll just re-staple it. Honey, that might be a good word. And we're not doing page. You're just, where's your bold word? Did you write it in bold? So if I was going to write a word in bold, look, if I were going to have the word mammals. So there's the word mammal, all regular. Look how I'm going to bold it. I'm just going to go back through and just make it really dark. That's all I'm going to do. And some of you may think, oh, well, you know what, Miss Ryan? I don't really have that many words that I can use. I might need to add another sentence. And I think everybody here has the word mammal, so if you wanted to add, or has an animal that is a mammal, that's something you could add to your writing. You could put, you know, that a cheetah is a mammal, or a gorilla is a mammal, a horse is a mammal. And see how I'm just bolding it? I'm not underlining it, I'm not circling it, I'm just bolding the word, and then I'm going to write that in my glossary.
I'm writing another sentence.
So what words are you picking? So is that what you're going to define in the glossary? So back here you're going to put, are you going to put help? Oh, okay. Alright, yeah, you may need to just peel it over a little. Okay, that's fine. Let's open up and let's look at your writing. Let me see. Let's see what words we can maybe pick. Maybe you all can help Melina. Let me read it to you, and let's see if you can pick a word for her. Cheetah's fastest mammal on land. Well, right there, what word?
Mammal.
Mammal. So let's start with that one. Can you bold your word mammal?
Oh, cheetah.
And put that in your glossary. And Lydia, you may need to add something else, okay? We may need to add, because let's read yours. It says, this is one cat that doesn't need any help getting down from a tree. And it grabs its prey. Prey would be a good word. What's prey? Yeah, so let's bold that word. So you can just kind of do the best you can right there. And bold that word and put it in your glossary. Okay? Let's read yours. Polar bears are actually white. They are brown. They do not have gills. They keep their babies safe.
How do
You could maybe bold gills. Somebody might not know what gills are. They sleep
fish
loudly. Their favorite food is seals. Polar bears can't be pets. They live in the Arctic. I think the Arctic is a really good word. What is the Arctic, Tina?
Yeah, I have an Arctic Lego set up, and I want to go to the Arctic so I could find like a helicopter, these little fast motor things.
Why don't you bold the word Arctic? Okay, that's great. Why don't you bold the word Arctic and put Arctic, And the Arctic, what is that? You know what it is? Not your Legos. What is Arctic?
Like the Arctic is like a really freezing cold lake.
That's what you need to
Well,
put.
only like cool, warm-blooded animals, polar mammals.
That's a good word. Pretty sure if you could just put
Only
another word for animal.
It can be like many things.
Just something living. It's something living. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Yes? Okay, did you bold? Hold on. Where's your writing? Did you bold your word? Did you bold your word? You gotta bold it. Remember how I showed you on my Post-it how I bolded my word? How I just made it really dark. I traced it over with my pencil. That's all you gotta do. I want you to come up with 3. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to come back to this. We're going to come back to this. We've got to go take an exit slip. So I want you all to leave your papers right where you are. And take your pencils and go back to your seat, okay? Pass it. Put your name on the top. Put your name on the top. Put it under your chin. Take a piece of paper, pass it. Put your name on the top. Pass it back. Pass it back. Yeah, you need to take one and pass it back. It's okay, just pass it back. Take one and pass it back. Put your name on the top, put it under your chin. Just skip him. He's out of the room. Aiden, turn around. Morgan, take one, pass it back. Write your name on the top, put it under your chin. Take one and pass it back. Pass it back to remote, please. Take one and pass it back. Put your name on the top. Put your books down. Anybody not have a piece of paper, raise your hand. Cameron, take this over here. Alright, name on the top. Show me that you follow direction.
I don't have a paper.
Well then you didn't listen. Raise your hand.
I don't have a
Raise your hand.
camera.
How am I supposed to know?
Raise your hand.
Thank you. Okay. Put your name at the top. Let me see that you are listening. Genesis, thank you. Peyton, thank you. Zakaya, thank you. Awesome. Almost everybody is listening. Thank you to those listening. Name on the top. Now, I need you. You've got your name on the top, and then you're going to number like this. 1, 2 on each line. So on the first line, under your name, put 1. Second line, put number 2. Quickly. Just look at your book. Keep going. Keep going. No. 1 and 2. Now, this is your exit slip. This is your work. You are going to answer for number 1. You are going to put number 1. This is a table of contents all about dogs. On line number 1, where you've written number 1, tell me what page I would find where it talks about training a dog. So it says all about dogs, table of contents, introduction. Page 1. Time for training. Page 4. What's for dinner? Page 7. Playtime. Page 9. Quietly, without calling out, tell me what page you would find about puppy training. Put your hands down. Write it down on number 1. Table of contents. Introduction. Page 1. Time for training. Page 4. What's for dinner? Page 7. Playtime. Page 9. Write it down and cover it up with your hand. This is your work. I need to see what you know. I'll read it one more time. Introduction. Page 1. Time for training. Page 4. What's for dinner? Page 7. Playtime. Page 9. Number 2.
Wait, I didn't write it.
Number 2.
Can you come back? Dad, can you come back? I didn't even get to do it.
What do we do when we need somebody to repeat something?
Ready?
Ryan, what do we do when we need somebody to repeat something? Cedric, raise your hand. Thank you. So yes, I will put it back. You need to write what page you will find. You will find where it's going to talk about training dogs. Is that going to be on the introduction, page 1? Time for training, page 4. What's for dinner, page 7. Playtime, page 9. Just put the page number. You don't need to write the whole thing. So next to number 1, you put what number you're going to write.
Question mark.
Yes. Grab a pad. Go. Number 2, we're moving on. If you've not listened, we'll have to come back to it later. Number 2, lions live together in a pride. Notice the bold word. Lions live together in a pride. Tell me why you think this word has been bolded. Lions live together in a pride. So tell me in your own words why you think the author bolded that word. No, you just tell me why. Tell me why you think the author bolded the word pride. In your own words, quietly.
What'd you say, Miss?
Tell me why you think the author bolded the word pride. Lions live together in a pride. Why did the author choose to bold that word? When you get done, flip your paper over. And you are not to talk. This is your own work. I need to see what you know. Where's your page? Why did you write 1 and 2? So tell me why, in your own words, why an author would bold a special word like that. You should write a sentence. I think the word is bolded because. I think the word is bolded because, or it is blank, whatever you think. Why does an author choose to bold a word? When you're done, flip your paper over so I know you're done. can tell me what we talked about today? Who can tell me what was some of the things we talked about today? Layla? We talked about the difference between fiction and nonfiction. Yes. What is the difference between fiction and nonfiction? Deshaun?
What's the difference between nonfiction?
Uh-huh.
The difference is that, like, fiction is not real and nonfiction is real.
Very good. Nonfiction is real. And what type of clues do nonfiction authors in their books give us in the book? How do they help us? How do they help us give information?
Because I'm not fiction.
Ryan?
Table of contents.
Table of contents. What's a table of contents do, Dakari? What's a table of contents do?
Show you what page you're supposed to go on, what you want to.
Yeah, it tells you what kind of information is where. And what's this picture of honey an example of? What is that? What would we call that picture? Is that an illustration? Is that an illustration, Desiree? No, it's a what? Anybody else know? What's a real picture? It's a picture that is taken with a camera. And what is a glossary? Who can tell me a glossary is?
I get it.
Who can tell me what a glossary is that isn't yelling out? Genesis, what's a glossary? Where is it located? It's in the back of the book. And it tells us what, Morgan? What's a glossary?
It tells us what, number one, how, so in a glossary, like I said in the beginning, it tells you if you want to know what
Be respectful.
If you want to know what something says, then what something means.
Very good. It tells us definitions. When you come across a bold word, like the word pride in our exit slip, the reason it's bolded is because it's a word the author thinks is important. Very good. So authors use nonfiction text features to help us, to give us information.